Hello, this is Eagle666 speaking, also known as Anthony. Let me explain my nickname. Ezekiel is taken from the prophet Ezekiel in the Old Testament, who saw the fire within the well. I had a similar experience, therefore I took his name. 666 stands for Lucifer, Satan. It is a representation of Eastern philosophy, yin and yang, good and evil, evil and good. Therefore, the name of this video is an open letter to Pope Francis. I'm saying that Pope Francis, you have done many reforms, but these four things need to be talked about in greater detail. And here are they. Number one, the jails. Jails throughout the world differ from place to place. Once again, there are 1.1 billion Catholics and 75 million Anglicans, Church of England followers. Both of these people claim to be Catholic. Once again, Catholic, if you're a Jesuit priest, you know that Catholic means universal. All. But you don't need an education lesson. This is for people who are listening to this conversation, this video. Well, first of all, jails and prisons need to be reformed, especially in America. Jails in America are holding places where people have committed crimes. And once again, in America, it's felt that these people have broken the law and they deserve what they get. But once again, we understand that in America, the reason why these people go to jail is because they could not afford proper representation. And it's a disparity that we'll talk about at the very end. The rich versus the poor. $1 million attorney or even a $10,000 attorney is better than a free attorney appointed by the courts, because they work hand in hand with the district attorney, and therefore they play golf together, they eat together, they drink together, they go to restaurants together, they go to movie theaters together. The district attorney in America and the lawyers that represent the poor often are best of friends. Therefore, they put people in jail who do not need to be in jail. For example, in the prison system, there are no education programs, no reform programs to teach these prisoners a trade when they get out. Because it's about money. They don't want to spend money on people who committed crimes. Yet when these people get out, they can go out to commit more crimes because no one will hire them. Pope Francis, they need you to talk to the leadership, the Congress in America, about funding for prisoners to be re-educated and re-evaluated so they can be let back into society and be productive members of society. If not, they should stay in prison forever because there is no room for them in the normal society of America at this time. In other countries, the jails and prisons are alright. Step 2. As an ally of the LGBT community, that means lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, I appreciate you talking about these people because they've been long ignored. Many churches do not allow them in to worship. But once again, Pope Francis, you said yourself, you're named after a saint. You know for a fact that these people need God too. And we were to let them in the church and make some concessions to them. I'm not saying they're going to change. I know for a fact that gay people, LGBT people didn't want to be born this way. Because myself, Pope Francis, I'm a black person. I'm a black American. For many years, and even to this day, many black Americans wish that they were white because they hate being oppressed by the whites and picked on. Very few black people say that they're proud. It's the same way in the LGBT community. Very few of them say that they're proud to be LGBT because of the hatred that comes out. And the killing. And once again, the people who are burning the burden of the most of this problem are my transsexual friends and my bisexual friends. Because No one understands bisexuals. How can someone like a man and a female at the same time? They don't understand that some people think that way. Most gay and lesbian people hate bisexual people. They don't fit in anywhere. And then we have another category that's been being oppressed. My fellow transsexual and transgender brethren and sisters, male to female, female to male, Pope Francis, those people being killed at an alarming high rate, and of all the suicides being committed on a daily basis throughout the world, and especially in the United States of America, is the majority of them killing themselves on a daily basis. While other Christians, be wary, Pope Francis was talking to a person named Rick Warren. Every time they say that a transgender or a gay person commits suicide, he has a party. Whether this is true or not, I do not know. But once again, many Christians say that they're Christian, but they promote people killing themselves. And we know, as a judge and priest, you would know, that's an unforgivable sin that can never be forgiven. That's the only sin that is unforgiven. Pope Francis, you know this because you understand and study the laws of God. Many people don't understand that. But be wary of Rick Warren. He is a false prophet. Never meet with a person. Don't even write to him. Because his thinking will pollute you, contaminate you. It's like cancer. Once it's started, you can never, the only way to get rid of it is to cut that part out. I'm not telling you what to do, Pope Francis, but be wary of him. 3, abortion. Pope Francis, as a Catholic, I'm against abortion. But after making a video not more than an hour, 2 hours ago, I've changed my mind about abortion. Once again, we don't have to think like Pope Francis. We agree to disagree. The reason why I'm saying that I support abortion now, because many people are genetic genomic testing getting better and better in America. We can now detect with 95% accuracy who will have a disease and who will suffer from mental illness. Therefore, if a woman walked up to me and said, my baby's going to be born retarded, I say abort that baby, because in America it's about money, Pope Francis. In many other countries, we cannot support these people. They don't do anything. The only thing they do is consume food. And there's a food shortage throughout America that most people don't know about. We're using so much corn now for diesel gasoline that there's a food shortage in America, driving up the food prices. America has to support food from throughout the world to support the 333 million people living in our country. Leaving less food for people in other places. But once again, I support abortion now because we don't have the money, the tax base to support people who are retarded or genetically defaulted anymore. I believe if a baby is born, that baby should not be given any medical treatment. We should allow the first year of a baby's life to be, if that baby lives to 1 year old, then we give it assistance. But if not, let it die in infancy. Rather it die in infancy than live a life of regret and pain and suffering. For many in America now suffer that way. And they would rather be dead. And at the first chance of getting to kill themselves, they do. Now, Pope Francis, the last thing. I talk about this. Rich versus poor, also known as ignorance versus want. Many rich people are ignorant of the fact that they themselves were once poor or middle class. They came up with an invention idea or something that made them elevate themselves to the status of rich. But as soon as they become rich, they become selfish, self-centered, narcissistic even. Not caring about their fellow man. In America, the one percenters, that's the term we call, the one percenters are the people who own 99% of the money now in my country, of the trillions of dollars that come in, which is a number higher than trillion. For those who don't understand, Google it, Yahoo it, Bling it. They own 99% of that. And let me simplify it for those people, because my friends are saying they don't understand what a trillion is. I'll simplify it. Everyone knows what a trillion is. Say the overall economic growth of the American government was $999 trillion. Then only 1 trillion will go to the rest of us. And if you think about it, between the 1%ers of 330 million, that comes out to 33 million people. The rest of us are in the middle class or the poor. But it's ignorant versus want. Ignorance. The people don't understand that if you're poor, the only thing that you need to get a good start is a good education. But now many places are making college unaffordable for those people. And once again, education used to be the key, but now it's self-determination and will that is the key. I'm not saying education is not important, but many of us are self-educated people. That means we read in the book, we understand it, and we can duplicate it. Once again, Pope Francis, I'm not saying this to be mean or unkind. I'm just speaking the truth. There's something should be done about the jail issue. You're taking care of the second issue, but I had to say it anyway. Because I'm a supporter of my LGBT brothers and sisters, even though I'm a straight male, a straight black male at that. We disagree on abortions because I think it'd be better for a person with a disease or some genetic default not be born at all, because it's a strain on our already overburdened healthcare system. That is my only reason. If we had the money, I would say let them live, but since we don't, now I say let them die. Once again, Pope Francis, throughout the world, many things come down to money. Isn't it sad that the root of all evil comes from money? As a Jesuit priest, you should know that, but you do. You have talked about it. It's not to scold anyone, but speak the truth as it is. And the fourth thing, the disparity of the rich versus the poor, or as I call it, ignorance versus want. I have nothing more to say. I have said it all. Peace and grace be with you, Pope Francis, and long life. Godspeed. Goodbye.